Welcome to Serving Locally with me, your host, Michelle Dinas, the podcast where we spotlight service in the Longmont and surrounding communities. All right, let's connect. Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Serving Locally. I am here with Cliff from the Humane Society, and I just wanted to say thank you for taking time out and meeting us here and doing this podcast to talk about the Humane Society. So, who are you and what is the Humane Society, and just a quick little overview.
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, my name's Cliff Cullen, and I've been Deputy Director at the Longmont Humane Society just a few months now, since February. So I'm fairly new in the role. But the Longmont Humane Society has been in existence for a long time, since 1972. And we serve our local animal population, and we are available for adoptions of animals or surrenders of animals. We have an on-site well pet clinic that's our veterinary services. And so we're present at a lot of community events around Longmont. So
Very good. We got our last two dogs from the Humane Society, so they got good puppies there sometimes, and we like to go there and look at the dogs and sometimes the guinea pigs and stuff that you guys have.
Yeah, we have small mammals, and that can be anything from guinea pigs to rabbits. We have several rabbits in house right now. We had hairless rats a few weeks ago, and those were very odd. I held them, and they were very warm, but someone adopted them very quickly. So people love all different kinds of animals.
I had rats growing up. They were cool. Her name was Wendy. I also had hedgehogs. Do you guys get many hedgehogs?
I haven't seen any hedgehogs since I've been there, but we might get them. I know the only small mammal that we don't keep is ferrets.
Oh, okay.
And that's because they're technically predators. And so they give off like a predator pheromone that makes all the other small mammals and the cats very nervous.
Oh,
so we don't
interesting.
keep them.
I love doing this because I learned so much. It's great. So could you give us a little bit of background about your organization?
Yeah, so like I said, we were founded in 1972 when the Boulder Humane Society kind of split into two. So we became the Longmont Humane Society branch, and then there's the Boulder Valley branch. We're completely separate organizations, but we're a private organization, nonprofit, and we have a contract with the city and several surrounding cities, including Frederick, Firestone, Mead, Dacono, and Lyons. Oh, I think there's one more that I'm forgetting, and I can't remember what it is, but I'll come back to it. And so we contract with those cities for them to bring in any kind of homeless pets, and then we treat them with medical treatment. We take in any animal, no matter their behavioral or medical issues.
For age?
Sorry?
Do you guys do based on age?
No limits on age. We take in all of them. And that's dogs, cats, and small mammals. Longmont does have a reptile humane society that if we get any reptiles, we send them to them. If we get any wild animals, we send them up to Greenwood. And so we've been doing this for a long time. Our early years were pretty tough. Just a lot of underfunding and turnover in staff, sicknesses. We actually started out in a turkey shed on the edge of the Boulder County Fairgrounds.
Okay.
And then in the 80s, we built a big dome, which people who've been longtime residents of Longmont, I'm sure, will remember. And then in 2008, we started a large capital campaign to expand our building. And thanks to a generous donation, we opened the Allen Center, which is our current building. And it tripled the amount of square feet, I believe, that we have. It's a huge difference.
And that's where you're at now.
And that's where
it's a beautiful building.
It
really is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what is your focus at the Humane Society of Longmont?
Yeah, so our mission is, hold on, I wrote this down because I can never memorize it. So our mission is caring, serving, and educating to improve the lives of companion animals. And so we see our mission as a community service. So when we bring animals in, we're treating members of our community because we see the animals as members of our community. And not only that, but we're preparing them to enter the homes of other members of our community. So we see what we do as very community focused. And yes, I think that's okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So our
Dogs is people too.
Yes.
Cats is people too. They are part of the family. They are definitely, they live with us. We
Yep.
take care of them.
Yep.
They are part of the community,
Yep.
whether you like it or not. But they are, and our dogs are family.
Mm-hmm.
So who are you trying to reach with your organization?
So like I mentioned, we're very community focused. So we want to provide a place where people within the community can find companions in the animals. And then the animals can be treated with dignity, with having all of their needs met, whether that's food, housing, medical treatment. Like I said, we don't turn away any animal for medical needs or behavioral issues. We have a world-class behavioral training team. So they will take any animal, no matter what the issue, and train them. And hopefully get them to a point where they're safe to go back into the community. That's always kind of our measuring stick is this animal a danger to other animals? Is this animal a danger to people? And if not, then they can be a part of the community. If there's health issues, we do everything from dental treatments and heartworm treatments, all kind of that normal stuff, spay, neuter, and then all the way up to even amputations if an animal just can't function with the limbs that they have. We have done that and have had animals very successfully come back from that. So one of the things we're most proud of is our live release rate is 98% from 2022. So 98 of every 100 animals that comes through our doors alive leaves alive. They're adopted, they're returned to their owner if they're a stray, or they're transferred to another facility that's better equipped to handle them. So there's certain facilities that maybe are focused on particular dog breeds or cats or different things that sometimes will have more space or better facilities to treat an animal, and we'll transfer to them sometimes as well.
What makes the work of the Humane Society different than other similar serving organizations?
So I think probably the thing that makes us the most different is just our willingness to take any animal. It's really, that's part of our mission and goal, is that every animal is worth putting the effort and energy into. We, in fact, will do a lot of transfers from other states. Texas is a big one, Louisiana is another, and I think New Mexico is our other third largest. Places that maybe are a little overcrowded, and societies that might euthanize because of space issues. We never euthanize for space. So we'll take in a lot of animals from those other communities in order to take really good care of them. And, you know, that's just not the mission of other organizations sometimes. You know, I don't want to speak negatively of any of the local organizations. They all have their missions and the work that they do, but our mission is to bring in every animal that we can. And, you know, we do that also through when there are disasters. So when Hurricane Harvey hit Houston, we brought in a lot of animals from Houston. And so what really helps with that is it creates space in their shelters so that any animals that get displaced by the hurricane can then go into a shelter and be returned to their owners, and much easier than trying to handle all of the strays. They just send all their strays to us, and then we can treat them and get them adopted out.
Do you guys send them to other facilities then?
Sometimes. Yeah, it depends on, you know, how crowded we are. We're pretty crowded on dogs right now. We have a lot. We're almost full, I think. Although we have an adoption event going on right now that is hopefully getting some of those dogs moving. And then cats tend to leave pretty quickly, so we're not too full on them. But we have a whole transfer system other places that we partner with, we'll bring in animals and we'll send out animals. That's kind of a constantly shifting demographic.
Just to find the right home for them.
Exactly.
How many dogs do you guys house?
So we can house, I believe it's 350 animals.
Wow.
It really depends. That's at dogs and cats.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty evenly split, I think, between the two, typically, as far as space goes. It really depends on the animals that we have. So some dogs do really well staying together. They
Right.
either came in together or they just became friends in a play group. So they stay together, and then that doubles up one of our kennel spaces. Other dogs, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to take one. So, but we can pretty much fit 350 animals pretty comfortably.
That's a lot. That's a lot of animals.
Yeah.
That's a lot of love in that building.
Yes. Yeah. And we have 3,500 animals who come through our doors living every year.
Wow.
And then, they're either adopted out, returned to owners, or transferred. We also perform euthanasia and cremation services. We have a pet cemetery on site. And so that's we have about 4,000 animals that come through. And so the other 500 are those that are being cremated, which again is a service we offer. And anyone
do
who
that once.
yeah, we have to.
And we got the paw print, and it's
Yes.
on my wall, and because
Yeah.
he was my buddy.
Yeah, we do that for all of them, including shelter pets. If it comes to a point where we do have to euthanize a shelter pet because of extreme behavior or they're just in extreme pain, then we will do the paw prints. And, it's a whole, the staff really, really cares about all of the animals.
Yeah.
And so it's a whole mourning process that we go through anytime that has to happen, which again is very rare, but it does happen. So.
Good. So what are your greatest needs?
So we have many, many needs, but cash is always appreciated. Obviously, donating is huge. We also have a wish list on both Amazon and Chewy, where people can go on and purchase things that are either desperately needed or kind of perennial, continual needs of ours. Right now is kitten season. So if you don't know anything about kitten season, when the weather gets consistently above 40 degrees, kittens start being born, and we start getting a lot of them. So we have a lot. We have 450 kittens who come
Holy
through
cow.
our foster program every year, and we always need kitten supplies because sometimes they need special food. If their mother has been injured or is not to be found, then they have to be bottle fed. So we have volunteers who will bottle feed them every 2 hours, 24 hours a day. It's a challenge. And then they can only be adopted when they are 8 weeks and 2 pounds. And so that they have to be fostered until then, because it's really hard to live in the shelter as a kitten. There's just too much need that they have. So we have kitten supplies that are on the Amazon and Chewy lists. And then volunteers are, we have 350 active volunteers. Last year, that was 20,000 hours of work. It's just, we could not do what we do without volunteers. And right now, as it's getting warmer, dog walking is huge. We have to walk every single dog in our facility 2 times a day at minimum.
Wow.
We like to do 3 if we can. So we need people. That's really where we need people the most, is volunteering to dog walk.
So tell me a little bit more about the dog walking.
So you can dog walk if you are 16 or older on your own. If we allow kids of any age, I think, to walk with their parents if their parents have gone through the training and are there with them. And it's really just coming in and looking. We have a board that has all of the ratings for all the dogs because we rate them. And if you're qualified to handle the dog, you can just come in and take them out on a walk. We're right on the edge of the fairgrounds, so it's kind of going around the fairgrounds, 10, 15 minutes just to get them outside, play with them a little bit, give them some attention. And they love it. It's the best thing. In fact, it's one of the perks of working there. We're encouraged to take dogs out for walks as well. Staff are trained on how to walk them, even if they have an office job like me. And all of our offices actually all have half doors. And if we want to bring a dog up from the shelter to give them a little space and a little
Socialization. Yeah.
totally. Yeah, we're encouraged to do that as
That's
well.
awesome.
Yeah, so
I
it's
didn't know
really
that.
cool.
Yeah. That's a lot of dogs and a lot of walking.
A lot of dogs, a lot of walking. If you're younger than 16, we also have our JACA program, which if you don't have a peanut allergy, you can come in and put peanut butter, and they call them Kongs.
Yes.
So the toys for the dogs, so that provides enrichment for them. And we even have stuff where like we can spray scents that the dogs like for the kids. They can blow bubbles for the dogs. Just kind of really all kinds of different things that can be done. So there's volunteer opportunities for all ages and abilities and interests and everything.
Do you get a lot of seniors come in to walk dogs?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We do.
I thought you would. Yeah. That'd be a good thing to do.
Yep. And we have dogs of all sizes. So, if you're not comfortable walking a dog that might pull you down the street, we have little ones that you can walk. And so
That's awesome. Do you have any events coming up or volunteer opportunities?
we have several events coming up. We have, like I was just talking about, we have lots of volunteer opportunities. And
Do you post those on Facebook and Instagram and stuff? Okay.
Yeah, we post those on Facebook. We also have an event calendar on the website that's got all of those listed out. Our hope is to partner with some local homeless shelters to provide pet supplies. It's pretty difficult for someone who is experiencing homelessness to come and get pet food from the Humane Society and then have to lug it somewhere. So our hope is to develop some of those partnerships. We haven't done much of that yet, but that's a goal. So the van would allow us to do that. Anything of that nature. Those are kind of the two big things we'll use it for.
Cool. Can you tell me a little bit more about fostering?
So fostering, that program is really important. We have over 300 foster volunteers, and that's for animals who maybe are stressed out by the shelter environment. Maybe they've had a medical procedure and they need space to be able to heal. Maybe they need extra socialization until they're ready for adoption. There's a number of reasons why an animal might go into foster. So that's people who volunteer to open their homes to bring in cats, dogs, small mammals, primarily cats and dogs. I think we foster small mammals, but primarily cats and dogs. In fact, my wife and I just fostered 2 kittens. And we're adopting one of them, and then the other one was just adopted out. But we fostered them until they were ready.
That would be my problem. I would foster, and then it would be mine.
It was really difficult to give the one back. We live in a townhome, and we're limited on space. We already have an adult cat that we adopted from Longmont Humane Society back in 2021.
Yeah.
And we kept going back and forth. We're like, are we going to have 3 cats? I don't know. It's a lot. So, yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah.
If you can't open your house for adoptions or, fostering, we also have what's called the expeditions program.
Okay.
Where you can come in and take a dog out for a hike, just to go to the park. You can do a sleepover where you bring them and they can stay at your house for a night. Anytime that an animal can get out of the shelter for a little bit, because it's not a natural environment, it's loud, it's crowded. It's just not a place where you can be yourself. Even as a dog or a cat, it's different. And so having just that time to be able to go and get a pup cup from Starbucks or walk around the park with someone for a couple of hours, that's a great opportunity. And it's just a great chance. Maybe someone has kids and they're not sure how they'd feel about having a dog around the house. You can bring them over for a sleepover and let them stay for a few hours. That's a really exciting program. So
that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I'll have you guys in the show notes, my QR code. I post everything that you guys post on social media, Instagram and Facebook, but how can people contact and find out more about the Humane Society?
So the best place to find out information that's the most up to date is our Facebook and Instagram accounts. That's really where we post everything that's happening. We do have an event calendar on the website that you can go to, and then if you are interested in volunteering or doing a tour of the facility, I forgot to mention that we also do tours for groups of 15. So school groups or local businesses, we've done that for a number of places, can come by and tour the facility. That's just go online and there's a form you can fill out for that. But all of it's on the website, and you can sign up to be a volunteer and look for when the next orientation days are. That's all of our contact information's on there. But keeping up with what's going on, Facebook and Instagram is the best way to do it.
Sounds great. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add or discuss that you have a couple minutes or?
I think that really covered everything. I was going to mention the foster department, but you asked about that.
Sorry.
Which is great. No, that's great. That's really important. And volunteering, foster bake sale. Let's see. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
We're really excited. We have a lot going on, the summer is exciting. Oh no, there is one thing I want to mention. So this summer now, it's a little unfortunate because it's full right now, but we do have our Kids and Critters camp, which is half days every week in June, and then the second week of July, 8:30 to 12:30 for kids ages 7 to 12. So we take time learning about animals and caring for them, how to properly handle animals, different careers that are available within animal care fields, animal welfare fields. In fact, in the past, and we're hoping to do this again, there's even been a chance to observe a surgery in our Well Pet Clinic. So very, very exciting opportunities. It is, like I said, full at the moment, but there is a wait list if anyone's interested. It's just a really fun opportunity for kids that age to come hang out at the Humane Society for a
summer
couple
camp.
hours. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've looked into that because Chase, which is his birthday. Happy birthday, Chase.
Happy birthday.
It's his 12th birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, I've looked into that for him because he likes the animals and stuff though too.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, do you get chickens?
We have gotten chickens. I actually asked so we have a night intake where people can put animals in if they're, if it's outside of our hours, and it's warm, it's got food, blankets, water, that kind of thing. And I asked our animal welfare supervisor one time what the weirdest animal that she's gotten from there, and they got a flock of ducks one time,
wow.
just hanging out in
Nice.
there. And so we actually did have to foster those. We had to find someone who would take them home and, had like a farm and stuff before we could figure out what we needed to do with them. But yeah.
That's interesting. That's a good question. What is the most interesting animal you've had?
It's always interesting to me.
Right?
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I just wanted to say thank you, Cliff, for coming on and discussing this. And if you guys want to work with animals, check them out because that's a lot of fun. And it's good. It's uplifting. It's positive for the community, for your spirits, for the dog spirits. It's never a bad thing. They're people too. Thank you, Cliff, for coming on, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. It's a great opportunity, so we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to my guests, my listeners, and my supporters. Serving together, we can strengthen our community. Please like and subscribe. Do all those other things. You got to do them because that's the easiest way that you can serve right now. All right, now go. Connect with others and be a blessing. What makes the work of the Humane Society different than other similar serving organizations?
I may have moved my paper during that time. Okay.
It's not going to be perfect. If you want, I can redo it. That's fine.
No,
no, I'm not going to edit out every and every no. We are humans here. It is anything but perfect. So
like
that is, that's how it should be. That's what makes it, real because it's really real. So I'll start that over again, but that's fine.